welcome back to the MTG Rundown. I'm Andrew.
Oh my god, I'm happy.
I'm Nick.
And we're back. Glad you could join us. Happy. I didn't know if you had a really important message on your phone there that you started right at the beginning.
I did, actually.
Just going to call you out there.
That's
a little bit.
fine. You can call me out. My wife is more important than this show.
I would hope so.
Yeah.
I think Hunter would kill me if I said otherwise.
Yeah, she would.
God, I kind of want to now. Anyways, no, I'm kidding. Anyways.
Oh, the old millennial yearning for death. I know it well.
Gotta love it. Gotta love it. So yeah, we're back and we got more spoodles. I'm gonna tell you right now, Wizards of the Coast has been pretty quiet. I wonder why. You should check out the D&D stuff. It's a whole train wreck.
Legal Eagle has a very good video on it.
Mm-hmm.
On the bright side, our Pathfinder sales are way up.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of Pathfinder, Pathfinder 2 has always been good, you fucking heathens. Don't come crawling to me just because Wizards of the Coast stepped in it again. I was here since day one. I bought into Pathfinder 2 and it was just a core rulebook and a bestiary. And it's very good. And I hope you all can join me in this very fun system. And I'm happy that more people are jumping in on this very, very cool
We've been
space. Yeah.
My little group of like RPG players that have been playing a lot of D&D. Also the Kids on Bike system. Really a lot of fun. This is, I know we're going into a little bit of RPG stuff, but that's fine. I think Silver will appreciate it. I know Silver watches. Silver's also been doing a lot of articles on the Game Talk Network. You should go read them. And
Go read stuff. I often forget that we have articles, but I think the link to that site is in the description of every video.
I would hope so.
Right?
It will be.
Because
if it's not,
because we are on the Game Talk network of shows and sites, right?
Hey Matt, I need you to put that in there for the description. Love you. Anyways, I don't know, I'm just saying. But no, yeah, a lot of good articles where they're talking about that. But yeah, no, definitely check out Pathfinder. Check out Kids on Brooms. That's a lot of Kids on Bikes. Sorry,
Kids on Bikes.
It's a really fun system.
Kids on Bikes.
There's also Kids on Brooms, which is basically Harry Potter without J.K. Rowling. And then a system that's
my favorite kind of Harry Potter.
Yeah, and then something I'm kind of working on that's related to that system that I kind of want to present to this company. I call it Kids with the Force.
Okay.
It's actually been going really well. It's a little homemade thing that I've brewed up that I've been playing with my friends every other Saturday.
All right.
Somewhere a Disney celebration just activated.
Yes.
Oh, shit. Anywho, before I get murdered by Disney, because I know the mouse is after me. Oh, boy.
I'll kick your asshole.
Oh, we could do that all day. That would literally be the entire show
It's
if
true.
we keep this going.
It's true. I have been working on my South Park Mickey Mouse impression for a long time.
God, after the show, I have some things to tell you. But anyways, we got more spoilers for Phyrexia. All will be one, and wow, they're pretty spicy. Some of them are pretty spicy.
See, these are the good mistakes, Wizards of the Coast. All right? Take notes. These mistakes are good. They're fun. I like them.
What's your favorite mistake so far?
My favorite mistake is just what they've decided to do with legendary creatures now, which is take cool enchantment, slap it on a legendary creature, and then give that legendary creature a way to give itself indestructible.
Yeah.
And also that creature is an artifact.
Yeah.
That's my favorite mistake they're making so far.
That's great.
That's really cool. Thank you so much. I'm sure there is no possible way that could go wrong.
Let me tell you something. I'm sure there will be. I'm 100% sure there will be.
I like Anointed Procession on a white beater that also can just give itself indestructible.
Yeah. So does the Amara Commander deck that Timmy's been playing and enjoying.
Yep.
That's going to be a lot of fun. How about you there, Nick? What's been your favorite mistake that Wizards has done for this set?
Oh, just allowing Phyrexia Blade Raider to be back in the sunlight. That
God bless.
I was traumatized by that card as a child, and now I get to return the favor.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's kind of, yeah. It's definitely not better, but it's not worse.
Yeah.
It is literally like, okay, yeah, no, you're the younger sibling of Phyrexian Obliterator, but that's okay. Yeah.
Tiny. So in a strange twist of fate, Tiny and I are basically going to be building the same deck for Standard. Just mono green Infect.
Yeah.
Because they just gave a 1-drop that says whenever one of your creatures is targeted, you get to proliferate or put a poison counter on something. I don't know, but that 1-drop that just says the words that it shouldn't say.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. And then the 8/8 that can't be, or the 7/7 with trample, haste, ward 4, and toxic 4 that can't be countered.
Oh, you mean the T-Rex?
Yep. That guy. Yeah, that guy.
Motherfucker.
I need to double check the wording on a card now because.
Yeah, I'm seeing if I can find that 1-drop again.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
Oh, the Venerated Rot Priest.
Venerated Rat Priest.
Yep.
Toxic
That
guy.
one whenever a thing gets targeted. Yep. No, specifically the Green March.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was like, does that target or just says? Oh yeah, choose target creature with mana value less than X. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
So get a second Rot Priest. Give everyone. Oh boy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, mono green Infect, everybody. I'm gonna make you cry. That's the goal. I'm gonna make you cry.
I was like,
Excellent.
Sprinkle a little blue in there. Get a croaking counterpart going.
Maybe. I was gonna go black. Because of the 2-mana removal spell that they just printed.
I'm honestly thinking green-white.
That's also fair.
Yeah.
In short, I think green is going to supplant black as the best color in Standard after this set releases, which does make me pained to say, but god damn it, they earned it. Okay, I can't even be mad. Tiny person, you won. All right,
You won.
You got
did
me.
it. You did it. There's actually another one that I really
Matt, cut that. I don't want him to see it.
Don't cut it.
Don't cut it.
I'm trying to find. There was one thing. Can't remember because my brain box has been slow today. Hang on. Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, no, that's what I was thinking of. Okay. Yeah, no, I like it. The one other thing that I really like for this, because I think this would be pretty good for something like that, Sword of Forge and Frontier.
Sword and Forge and Frontier is pretty sweet. Go ahead and read that for me.
Oh, yeah. So it is a mythic equipment. It is another sword, basically red-green sword. 3 colorless. Equipped creature gets +2/+2 and has protection from red and green. Whenever equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, exile the top 2 cards of your library. You may play those cards this turn. You may play an additional land this turn. The ramp be good. Now,
red and green are not usually great colors to have protection from, but it is pseudo card draw plus ramp, and it's a sword. It's still better than Sword of Body and Mind. You know? You know?
yeah. I'm gonna see.
Or body mind.
Go ahead.
I know it's poor Body and Mind.
Yeah. Well, I was just gonna read off Boros Reckoner's angry older brother.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good old Phyrexian champion. In the family tradition of being quadruple pips, it's a quadruple white. It's a 5/5 with flying. And if damage would be dealt to it, prevent that damage. When damage is run this way, Phyrexian champion deals that much damage to any other target.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, honestly, easy to get rid of if you think about it with this day and age with all the single target removal we got. But yeah, you don't want that on the field long. Yeah. Especially in Standard. I see it seeing Standard play for sure. I don't think it hits any other format.
Especially not a quadruple white to cast.
Yeah, no, if Phyrexian Obliterator is bad in, modern Legacy Vintage, then this card is also bad.
I can see it maybe working like a mono white Pioneer since mono white still okay.
Sure. Yeah, I could see like some sort of weird pioneer like throw this at someone deck. Yeah.
Give me something happy.
You know what? I'll give you a little something. Something. I am going to give you this card isn't necessarily like spectacular, but I just like it because of the flavor. Tablet of Completion.
Yeah.
It is a 2-mana artifact. Tap it, put an oil counter on it. Tap it to add a colorless if it has 2 or more oil counters on it. Pay 1 mana and tap it to draw a card. Activate it only if it has 5 or more oil counters on it. It's not a spectacular card by any stretch of the imagination, but the art is cool. The flavor is cool, right? That as it gets more and more, Phyrexian oil, you get more and more power out of it.
Yeah. It's an interesting card for sure. I like what they're doing with the oil counters.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I have something that it's a 2-piece thing. And it's something that got addressed over some other articles that I saw over the weekend. You guys like Hammer Time, right?
Yeah.
Love the Hammer Time deck, right?
Sure, let's go with that.
I never had a problem with that matchup.
Yeah. So here's a great thing. So there are 2 new cards coming to Phyrexia All as one that's going to help Hammer Time. So we have Kemba, Ka Enduring.
Oh, yeah.
2/2 for 2 mana, a white and a colorless. It's a legendary creature, cat cleric. Whenever Kemba, Ka Enduring, or another cat enters the battlefield under your control, attach up to 1 target equipment you control to that creature. Equipped creatures you control get +1/+1. Well, what's great about that is they've also decided to add in a little bit more. There's also so that one you can probably get it like out pretty fast.
Yeah.
Attaching equipment, getting Colossus Hammer on there, really good. Another thing people have been talking about, it's an uncommon Cacophony Scamp. It is a 1/1 for 1 mana. It's an uncommon. Whenever Cacophony Scamp deals combat damage to a player, you may sacrifice it. If you do, proliferate. When Cacophony Scamp dies, it deals damage equal to its power to any target. So what people are basically wanting to do now is you basically have Cacophony Scamp, a Colossus Hammer, and then either a Resolute Strike or a Sigarda's Aid.
Nice.
And you're just going, boop, boop, you're dead.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I saw those 2 things. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Because Hammer Time definitely needed more things. Like, I don't really care about the Hammer Time matchup, but, yeah.
To be fair, I do think Hammer Time actually needed some juice, especially after the Luris ban.
That's fair. That's fair.
That's just me.
That's fair. But yeah, that's a little 2 piece combo thing that I like there. That it
is very cute.
Yeah, it's cute.
It's very cute.
I think Kemba will definitely help out Hammer Time. I think Kemba could help that. It's cheap enough. It's in the right colors.
Sure.
It's only 1 white.
Yeah.
It's not as like stressful as it's not as good as Pierce Through Paladin, but it's also not as stressful on the mana. So where you're having to rely on the 2 white, you know what I mean?
Sure.
But yeah, I think it'll be pretty good. I think it won't be too bad. You got another one for me?
Sorry, I was Google translating because one of these cards is incomplete for a minute, but I just realized that they're reprinting Terramorphic Expansive Evolving Wilds for once.
It has been like 10 years.
Yeah. Where was I on the card that I was actually going to talk about, and then I got distracted by figuring out how to fucking speak Portuguese for a minute.
That's fair.
Look, they're giving us a cycle of like common tap lands, and I was like, what subtypes do these things have?
Yeah.
They're spheres, which I probably should have figured that, but they're ETB tapped for a color of the land, or 1 and then like color of land, sack it, draw a card, which I'm pretty okay with that.
Not bad.
Yeah, it's a perfectly fine draft land for them, and proper players will probably be happy.
Yeah.
Where did the stupid card I was going to actually talk about go? Curse you and my reckless scrolling. Oh, where did you?
Damn you cards not being in English where I have to translate it. Damn these leaks and spoodles.
While he's looking, I do have one. It is. Sorry. My phone just decided that Google Chrome isn't going to work anymore, so I just had to read the card like 3 times to memorize it. It's called Scheming Aspirant. Ooh. It is 1 colorless, 1 black for a 1/3. Oh, I just know what it does. It says whenever you proliferate, an opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life.
Yeah.
It's a 1/3.
It's a 1/3.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, it is pretty good.
That card makes me pleased.
I love it. It also is a good way for your green black idea.
Yes,
really.
It is a nice little support piece. Yeah.
Oh yeah. What do you got for us?
This is the one where it's just a weird templating mostly. Anoint with Affliction 1 or black, instant speed. Exile target creature if it has mana value 3 or less, which fine. Corrupted. Exile that creature if its controller has 3 or more poison counters.
Yeah. Yes, that is exactly the card that made me want to go green black for the toxic list, just because like it's a decent kill spell on its own, and then after turn 3, it's just exile whatever the hell I want.
Yeah, for sure. So my next card, it's actually gonna be a land card, another sphere. It's a rare one. The Mycosynth Gardens.
Oh.
It's an interesting one. It's not anything like, oh my god, amazing, but it is interesting to me. Plus the art's really nice. So it's a rare land, taps and adds a colorless. You can tap 1 and tap it to add a mana of any color. Then you can tap X and tap it. The Mycosynth Gardens becomes a copy of target non-token artifact you control with mana value X. So while I don't know how to utilize it in Standard, I probably won't be able to. I could definitely see this having fun in like Commander.
Sure.
And just being a whole mess of things. It's like, oh hey, I'm gonna copy my Darksteel Colossus at the end of your turn.
Most of what I've seen people losing their mind over is Tron players going, wait, that just turns into extra whatever the fuck I want.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fair. I didn't think about that. I wasn't even thinking about Tron.
Yeah, they're like, oh wait, does that mean I can like turn 3 a Worm Coil, turn 4 a Worm Coil?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, that doesn't seem like anything wrong with that.
Just dodge the Tron matchup.
Yep.
Yeah.
He just got to dodge the Tron matchup. But yeah, I thought it was a cool little land there. It was neat.
That and vintage shops players are going, all right, this is artifact. How do we break this one? Wait, what do you mean those aren't legendary? Oh, wait.
Oops.
Don't mind if I just, I don't know, Paradox Storm even harder now.
Oh, no.
I paid 0 and got an extra Black Lotus for...
Oh.
Yep.
Which to
mana
all,
cost X.
Yep. To all, 5 of those vintage shops players, you're bad and you know what you did.
You know what you did.
I get that you're required to keep Dredge in check, but...
Yeah.
Please stop playing with more money than I will ever touch in my entire life on a weekend basis.
You just start stop! No more, please. Please. I'll be good.
Just the Tina from Bob's Burgers.
I'll let you win, okay? Just stop. All right, give me another card there, Nick.
Did we mention the what's it, the blue
Dominus.
proliferate?
No.
Yeah.
I haven't mentioned that. Was brand new today.
Yeah. 2 double blue for a 3/5 flyer. If you would proliferate twice instead. And then it just says 1, and then double Phyrexia blue, remove 3 counters among our blah blah. It becomes indestructible.
Yeah, you just put an indestructible counter on it.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
and then you can proliferate his indestructible. It's a squid. I don't think this thing conforms to gender binaries.
No, not at all. So, it is a Phyrexian horror, and they will be treated as such.
Yeah. Yay.
So, Mythic Splitter, stop it.
Can't wait for Drax to climb again.
So, you know what's cool about all this proliferation and such?
Yeah, tell me.
What if, just spitballing here, all your planeswalkers had proliferate and take an extra turn on them? Because if so, have I got the artifact for you? For the low, low cost of a blue mana, 2 colorless, and mythic artifact, Ichor Gauntlet can be yours. Planeswalkers you control have 0, proliferate, and -12. Take an extra turn after this one. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, choose a counter on target permanent. Put an additional counter of that kind on that permanent. Wow!
Yay! Hey, do you know what'd be really good if you combine those?
Oh,
there it
that's
is.
crazy. I never thought of that.
I did actually.
Fuck you.
I know. That was the point.
Oh, okay. Now suddenly that judge call makes more sense. Somebody posted in a Discord, and they're like, "Hey, I have a question about how like power toughness effects work." I'm like, I was like, "Hey, what do you mean? If I have 3 effects that double power and toughness, what happens?" Like, oh, because there's the green Dominus that doubles the power and toughness of all your creatures until end of combat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now I know why they were asking that. Yay! I can't wait for Xenagos.
Layers.
What's this stupid Midnight Hunt enchantment that's just like, and everything gets bigger.
Oh, hey Nick.
Yeah.
How does so I've got a doubling season and Shatterfang
throw a rocket at you right now.
on the battlefield. How do those triggers resolve?
Wait, what's the question?
It's not.
A player controls a Shatterfang in a doubling season. They
Okay.
cast a spell that makes tokens. For the sake of argument, they're currently making 2 tokens. How many tokens does this resolve in?
Shatterfang does what again?
If you would make 1 or more tokens, make that many plus that many squirrels.
Okay, so you're making. So if you have something that's making a token, doubling season doubles that. So you're just you're getting a shit ton of fucking vermin. Basically, is the answer.
It's you. They're both. You control both replacement effects. You would make 2 tokens doubled by doubling season to 4 tokens, and then Shatterfang sees 4 tokens and makes 4 squirrels.
Yes.
It is. Yeah.
It's hell.
Yep.
It's actually incredibly simple.
It is.
Because it is multiplication and not subtraction or division. The result is the same no matter how you stack the triggers. But people don't quite know how replacement effects work.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it only happens. It's a replace. So we only. Yep. The word instead is
Entirely
so
unrelated,
important. Is so important.
3 in a black, draw 3, lose 3. Long line of cards that do this shit. But thank you to Scryfall for naming this one Scorn 2022. Because that artwork, yes, that is Scorn 2022.
That's very good.
Have we talked about Mondrak?
Talk about him.
All right, Mondrak, Glory Dominus is the white one.
Yeah.
2 white, 2 colorless. Phyrexian Horror, legendary creature, mythic. If 1 or more tokens would be created under your control, twice that many of those tokens are created instead. So what if I had that plus the Chatterfang and the doubling season? What's going to happen?
You're going to need more than 1 replacement kidney.
Its second ability, 1, 2 of the Phyrexia mana for the white one, so you either pay white or 2 life. Sacrifice 2 other artifacts and or creatures. Put an indestructible counter on Mondrak Glory Dominus. It is pretty good.
Pretty good. I think my last one
Yeah.
is going to be Skrelv Defector Might.
Yep.
For a white mana, 1/1, legendary artifact creature Phyrexian Might, toxic 1, he can't block. Phyrexian White, tap him, choose a color. Another target creature you control gains toxic 1 hexproof from that color until end of turn. It can't be blocked by creatures of that color this turn.
Nice. I like it.
I like that guy.
Mm-hmm.
I like
Be a lot of fun.
I like that little dude.
I got one more if you got one more.
I have one that it's not exciting. It's just I'm hoping to
Sure.
live the dream with this. Watchful Blister Zoa, 4 double blue for a 4/4 flyer. enters with an oil counter on it, and then whenever when it dies, draw cards equal to the number of oil counters on it. I'm just hoping eventually I will have a match where my opponent has one of those in play. I have a bunch of proliferative effects that are more cards than they have in library.
Yes.
Deck them with their own.
Yes, that would be beautiful.
Yes.
So my one that I will talk about, it was torn between two, but I'm going to talk about this one more because it kind of goes with the green getting the support it deserves. I want to talk about Thrun.
I don't know about deserves, but
I want to talk about Thrun, Breaker of Silence.
Oh yeah.
5/5 5-drop. Legendary creature, Troll Shaman. Looks like it's a rare stamp. This looks like it was a leak, not a actual confirmed spoiler, but at this point. This spell can't be countered. Trample. Thrun, Breaker of Silence, can't be the target of non-green spells your opponents control or abilities from non-green sources your opponents control. As long as it's your turn, Thrun has Indestructible. I like it.
Yeah.
See, I love green. It's a lot of fun, and it does make me happy seeing all these green things. But see, Throne of Eldraine did the same thing. Then we saw what happened.
No, the problem it wasn't green. It wasn't green. It was Simic.
Yeah.
It was Simic
sure.
that was the problem.
Yeah, Simic was the problem, but they did give some good green pieces.
Did it give some good green pieces? Yes. Questing Beast was too much. Agreed. But it was definitely Simic that was the problem.
See, I loved Questing Beast, but my favorite was Lovestruck Beast because it was just
Lovestruck Beast is always also really, really good.
It's a really good card.
Turn 2 Lucky Clover. Turn 3 you just like do the make dudes, then which means you make 2 dudes, and then you cast the Lovestruck Beast, and yeah.
I will say I am going to read this last card.
Yeah,
I
go for it.
really want to talk about Conduit of Worlds.
Yep.
This one's a good one. 2 green, 2 colorless artifact. You may play lands from your graveyard. You tap it, choose target non-land permanent card in your graveyard. If you haven't cast a spell this turn, you may cast that card. If you do, you can't cast additional spells this turn. Activate only as a sorcery.
Card's neat.
That is a neat card.
Card's neat.
I like it because it gives me that feeling of Fires of Invention without it being Fires of Invention.
Sure.
So I just love that little stuff. And it's green too. It's like, holy crap, okay. It's nuts. We're gonna have a lot of fun this set.
Yeah.
People are gonna.
I mean,
die
it's a Phyrexian set, and I'm always a big fan of those.
So with poison counters coming back, I do want to bring up 2 more things before we wrap up today. So one, there's been a lot of talk in the Commander community.
Yeah.
That believe the poison counter for Commander, the death total, should go up. I'm curious of what you two think of that.
We actually just had a discussion about this. Tiny, if you're watching, this is going to sound real familiar.
I didn't know that, sir.
Yeah, no, I know. But funnily enough, we just had a conversation about this. I am pretty firmly against it. Okay. Because there are 3 other people at the table. Inevitably, when someone sees the word infect or poison counter at the table, all 3 people just like turn their full attention onto that one player and ace them out immediately.
Yep.
I do not see a reason why infect count needs to go up when you already make yourself the biggest target at the table simply by having a card with the word infect on it.
Sure.
I think the laws of natural consequences take care of that pretty quickly, and also it forces people to play interaction because I think Commander players as a whole, not all of them, but in general, really, really cut back on interaction so they can do whatever cool thing they want to do.
Yeah.
But you got to have interaction.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
I'm just saying. Sorry, Ian, but I always have a negate in my hand, apparently. So, sorry.
How about you, then, Nick? What do you think?
I'm more or less in agreement with Happy. Like, it's the everyone obviously hates the fuck out of Infect, so as soon as you play it, you
Yeah.
get shot to death.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's mostly the 90% of the people that hate Infect. It's like, what, Triumph of the Hordes,
Mm-hmm.
Grafted Exoskeleton, what are the other one or two? They're just like, those are the ones that everyone knows and absolutely hates. The rest is like, oh, you have a 1/1 that's unblockable, so
Right.
you need 3 pump spells to kill someone with it.
Right.
If it wasn't for, like, oh, the Triumph of the Hordes overrun you, game over, kills,
Sure.
Infect would not be anywhere near as hated as I think it gets right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, 10 is hard, but it's also 10 combat damage.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think a lot of people's concern is just with how toxic is, because I mean, toxic is just slightly worse Infect in my opinion.
It's just poison again, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's just okay. I'm still dealing combat damage, but I'm also giving you these poison counters too. That's where Infect was like, okay, you either do it as poison counters or do the -1/-1s on the creatures. That's why I say it's slightly worse, is because I do like the fact Infect can give -1/-1. Which some people forget about that. It's so weird. A lot of people. There is a lot of people I've talked to when like some people from other commander groups and everything that I've played with, or just people I used to play with in the past. They're like, oh yeah, Infect does that too. I just focus on the poison parks. I just want to kill people, which is fair, but
Yeah, that's I don't know. Yeah,
Yeah,
I always that's one of my favorite parts about it, is because not only am I killing you way quicker, even when you do like block, like you're weaker for it.
yeah, for me,
Which is one of the reasons why Infect was such a big mistake, because you are attacking on angles that no one really has a great defense for.
true. Like for me personally, I think if you have like a little play group at home that you want to make your own rules, whatever, but I don't see a need, because I agree with both, kind of what you're both saying. Like if somebody's going to be like, okay, yeah, I'm going to Triumph for the Hordes to annihilate people. Well, okay, yeah, you're going to be forced to play that interaction. You got to counter. You got to do something. It's going to force people to, it forces people to actually put interaction in your decks. I do agree with that. The only other argument that I saw out there that was kind of like for increasing the limit, that I was like, okay, that I can see that as an argument, but it's not selling me, was the fact that because Phyrexia ONE is bringing in all of these toxic cards and all this increased like poison counter, that 9 times out of 10, we're going to see a lot of commander players basically, if you're not playing some type of poison counter in your deck, you're kind of behind on things. I don't know. Again, I think it's going to depend on the kind of deck that you make, but I can see an argument to where it's like, okay, sure. With Phyrexia ONE coming out, we're probably going to see a lot more decks that utilize proliferate and poison counters.
Yeah.
Not going to say Infect or Toxic specifically. I'm saying those two things.
Sure.
So, like, for example, now this could be rare. Now, I'm not going to say completely rare or not completely off, whatever. But if you set it a pod and they're like, okay, yeah, what are we all playing? Okay, we're all playing some type of poison counter decks. Basically, it's going to be like, okay, you got to race to win at that point, which, I mean, that's any commander game for the most part, depending on what you're playing. But that was the only type of argument that I could see like had a little bit of like, oh, okay, whatever, but I don't see a need to increase it either. I think 10 is fine. I think if you're having issues with Infect or Poison, maybe review your deck to have more interaction, like Happy is saying. Throw in counters if you can. Throw in those direct kill spells. Do something that's going to prevent you from taking damage, like throw that stuff in there, because you're going to need it. And not just for Infect matchups, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, also, like, it's also it's also a really nice way to keep infinite life gain decks in check.
Yeah.
Because it is the worst feeling in the world when someone's like, I have infinite life, and everybody's like, oh,
Yeah.
we're sitting here forever. And that sucks. I would say that sucks more than something like Infect. Because with Infect, it's like, shit. All right, well, that game was done in 5 minutes. All right, on to the next one. Infinite Life, it's like, dude, I don't want to be here anymore. I don't want to play this fucking game anymore. I'm
There's
done.
stacks. There's stacks. Like,
Exactly.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna Winter Orb.
I think they're two sides of the same coin. I think if you want to limit Infect, then you also have to like, you know, cut down on the Infinite Life gain lines, man. Like
Put a cap on that
yeah.
shit.
Yeah, no.
I agree.
Also, Infect sits in the same role as Commander Damage, where it's the way to deal with the decks that just go, I will make more life than you'll ever deal damage to me.
Yeah.
Yep. So it's the same thing where it's like, for example, I'm just use like the Unhallowed deck that I play.
Yeah.
It's a very spellcaster combo deck. If I'm playing against like your green-white tokens deck, I have to find answers because I need 4 or 5 turns to set up. Whereas you have 4 or 5 turns to kill me before I go, I just go infinite and the game's now over.
Yep.
Same thing where if you were sitting across from me with Infect, I'm still in that same boat where I have 4 or 5 turns to, you know, catch up and keep you in check to do my thing, and you have your 4 or 5 turns to just beat me to death with your poison counters.
Yeah.
It's the same thing as fighting against any other combat-based deck.
Yeah.
You need removal for them. You need ways to get in front of them. The toxic creatures aren't going to make that much of a difference. Actually, they're probably going to make less of an impact than normal impact because now, your 2/2's trading with my 2/2, fine, or like you're running a 2/2 into my 4/4. It's not getting a 1/1 counter anymore. I just have my chump blocker again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And no, fuck Aloro decks.
I
I have no
think
idea
it's
what you're
fun.
talking about.
Yeah, I bet. That reminds me, we need to play like some good old Commander again. But anyways, but no, the last thing I'll cover is because we were talking about like that you were doing the judge call funny thing because of the doubling season. I just remembered for the Modern 20K I did last weekend, I did have an interesting judge call thing because in my first round, I just remembered this. Words are important. Like when we were talking about the fact that the word instead is so fucking important.
Yeah.
Also, when you're moving into like combat,
Yeah.
out of combat. So my first round against Jun Goif, he was like, "Okay, move into combat," and I'm like, "Okay." I was like, "Before combat, so at the end of your main phase, I'm gonna do this." I think I was trying to destroy his Tarmogoyf.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Okay, so I'm still in my main phase." I go, "You're at the end of your main phase." "Yes, because the priority's been passed." We ended up having to call a judge because of how I worded it.
Yes.
Because I said before going to attacks.
Yes.
So it allowed him to stay in his main phase to do something else. I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, words are hard.
Yes.
That coffee hasn't hit yet.
At the beginning of combat. Yeah.
Right. That's what I
entering
should have
combat.
said.
Yeah.
Yeah. I should have said at the beginning of combat, I'm going to do this.
Yes.
That words are hard, people. Make sure you say things correctly. That's the moral here. That's the lesson here.
Yep.
I felt like a dum-dum.
Yeah.
We on the other end, we had a player in one of our local shops many years ago who was mute. So what he ended up doing, because he got so frustrated with people like assuming that they knew what he was trying to do and just jumping ahead of him, is he got a custom printed playmat with every single like phase and step printed out and would put a counter and slowly move it down. So he's like, "No, I am end of main one, entering combat before." Like, he would do that because he got so tired of people just assuming, "Oh, we're coming to do this." He's like, "No, I'm doing a thing first. Shut up. Fuck you."
That's very good.
I kind of want that playmat.
That's so petty, and I love it so
Me
much.
too.
I would.
Yeah.
That's also a very helpful playmat for new players. Just like, all right, so like, what's happening is we're using simplified language, but what's happening is we're going to here, and then we're going to here, and then we're going to here, and then we're going to do this, and then this, and then this.
There's a playmat like that online we're getting for Timmy because Timmy's getting back into Magic and how we're breaking it down for her. It's that this playmat literally has everything you need on there to be like, okay, these are your phases. This is how you do this.
On tap,
thing.
upkeep, draw, phone, wallet, keys.
Exactly.
That's how my wife remembers it. Phone, wallet, keys. Untap, upkeep, draw.
Yep. Because there were some issues that we were working out because when I teach Magic, I'm one of those ones that are like, I can teach you like basic stuff just by telling you, but getting into a game is going to help so much more.
Yep.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's been a thing. But it's been a good time though. But I think that's all we got today.
Yeah.
That was a good point. So hopefully by next week, we should have the full spoiler. I'm hoping by next week, maybe. Don't see why not.
Two cards and the set releases in 2 weeks.
Yeah, I would hope so. I mean, this is Wizards
really
of the
slow rolling those last 2 commons.
Yeah, they must be pretty good commons.
I think it's actually a rare. It's a rare in something else.
Oh, okay.
It's nickel bowls from the top rope.
Zombo Nicol Bolas.
He just-
Zombie Phyrexian
He just
dragon,
like busts
sure.
out of his you know, like his prison realm and just like gives Alishin the people's elbow. I control the multiverse, bitch.
From the top rope. My God. Oh God.
It's
please.
Nicol Bolas with a steel chair.
I'm okay if Nicol Bolas stays in the prison. He can stay there. I'm a little over Nicol Bolas. I'm gonna be real.
Oh shit! And what's this? Limdul tagging in.
And what's that? They gathered the ashes of Yawgmoth. What? I'd pay. I'd pay for art for that.
Pretty good.
There's Patreons for that.
Yeah, there are Patreons for that for sure. But anyways, I think we're gonna wrap it up here. We'll be back next week to talk about everything finishing up, and then we're gonna have an unboxing soon. All that good stuff.
Yeah, that's right. We do those here. Huh?
Yeah. We do those here. But anyways, I've been Andrew,
I am happy.
I'm Nick.
and we'll see you next week. Y'all have a good one.